Hey everybody, it's Mr. Roy. We're going to jump in on this lesson on the distributive property. This is an important math skill that we're going to need for stuff we're doing this year and to keep pushing you forward on your math. So I wanted to start this distributive property lesson with just a quick little lesson graphic here. And this is something that's going to tie it to a tangible thing that we're all pretty used to. Let's say you go to a place that's got a combo meal. And the combo meal is that you get a hard shell taco and a drink, and that's the combo that you get together. But you're not just buying for your friends. Let's say you're a good friend and you're buying for 3 other people, or yourself and 2 other people. So you're getting 3 combo meals together. Now, basically, how we're going to tackle something like this is probably something you've done in your head. You're going to say, okay, I got 3 combo meals. Each comes with 2 hard shell tacos, and each comes with 1 drink. So how do I figure that out in total? How many do I have of each? Well, I'm going to say 3 meals times 2 hard shell tacos. That's going to give us 6 hard shell tacos total. And 3 meals times 1 drink in each is going to give us 3 drinks. So 3 times 2 and 3 times 1. This is really the distributive property. And here's a way to look at it. We could write it with math. Instead of putting a picture of a taco and a drink, let's put a T for taco and a D for drink. So in each combo, we've got 2 tacos and we've got 1 drink. So we're going to multiply 3 times 2 and T for taco gives us 6T. We're multiplying our numbers together. 3 times 2 is 6. We're also going to multiply 3 times D. That's going to give us 3D. So we end up with 6 tacos and 3 drinks. This is the essence of the distributive property. Now let's jump in on some actual, putting some more numbers to this and see if we can get a good handle on distributive property. So distributive property, we're going to start with an example. Now granted, this is a bit of an old example, but because who buys DVDs anymore? But I think this will still work to serve its purposes. Yesterday, Steve bought 5 DVDs at the store. DVDs cost $8 each. Well, I remember when they used to be more than that, but I guess they're cheap now because nobody wants them anymore. Today he bought 7 more. How much money did he spend on DVDs? So there's a couple of ways of thinking about this, right? You might use one of 2 methods. So the question is, which method would you use when you're trying to solve this question? Would you say, well, he bought 5 of them and they're $8 each, so 5 times 8. And then he bought 7 more, and each is 8, so 7 times 8, and let's add them together. Or you might have been someone who said, I'm going to add 5 and 7 to get the total number of DVDs, and then multiply by 8 because each of them costs $8. And the question is, will you get the same answer? Well, that's a good question. The truth is, yes, you will get the same answer. So we can actually write this 2 different ways, and this is the essence of our distributive property. So let's actually have a look at showing how we know we'll get the same answer. So same question. We're going to pull a little info thing in here. Oh, that's just for me. Never mind. Okay, so here we go. 8 times 5. What's that? Each DVD is $8. He bought 5 of them. That's $40. And he bought another 7. So 8 times 7. That's $56. Let's add them together. $96. Okay, let's try this. Let's go 8 times 5 plus 7. Well, what's 5 plus 7? It's 12. 8 times 12, it's also $96. So it works either way. These are equivalent. We've just shown that these are equal. You could do this either way. You can go add the 5 and the 7 together in some brackets and multiply that times 8, or you can go 8 times 5 and 8 times 7. Those are equivalent to one another. Here's another example. The school cafeteria sells an average of 30 apples and 20 bananas every day. How many total pieces of fruit do they sell in 1 week? That's 5 days, because 5 school days in a week. I'd like you to pause the video right now, and I'd like you to try and figure it out. Write down your method, and then let's try and compare how you approach this problem. Okay, so you've done the problem and you're back. Here we go. Let's try this out. So, which way did you do this? Did you say 5 times 30 for the number of apples is 150, and 5 times 20 for the number of bananas is 100. Add them together and that's 250 pieces. Or did you say add 30 and 20 together, that's 50, and then go 5 days times 50 pieces each day. That's also 250. Same answer. Which way did you do it? Okay, so here's the distributive property written in kind of math form. If I'm going to get out my highlighter here so I can show you how this goes. If we've got a set of brackets with some stuff inside, and we've got a number out front. Actually, let me do a little highlighting where I can match up the colors. That'll work great. Let's say we got a B here and a C here and a here. Well, we can actually say that this is equal to, like just in the two examples that we saw a moment ago, to A times B plus A times C. What does this look like when we actually write out numbers like in our example below? Well, here's how we're going to do this. We're going to take the 6 and we're going to multiply it by 2. And then we're going to take the 6 and we're going to multiply it by, not 4, 4x. So 6 times 4x. What's that going to work out to? Well, let's write it out. 6 times 2. I'm going to write all of these in brackets just to make sure I don't mess anything up. And then I'm going to add 6 times 4x. Well, 6 times 2 is 12. And 6 times 4 is going to be 24. But it's not 4, it's 4x. That means there's 4 x's. So if we have 6 groups and each group has 4 x's in it, that's 24 x's. So 24 times x, 24x. You'll notice that the pattern we follow is you just multiply the two regular numbers together, the 6 and the 4, but then we recognize that it doesn't mean just 24, it means 24 x's. Let's see if we can get our video to pop up here. This is just going to give us a quick demonstration of the solution. This video has a great point in it, and I'll mention it for our example here. You can't add 12 and 24x together because they are not like terms. They're not like terms. They don't have the same unknown, they don't have the same exponent, so we cannot add those terms together. Okay, let's try a few of these together. Here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to actually pause the video, and I'd like you to actually try each of these on your own before I do it. By trying it and then starting the video, when you either get stuck or when you finish, you're going to have a look at how these are completed, and that's going to help in terms of your practice. So don't just watch me do it, try it. Okay, pause your video right now. Okay, let's go for it. Let's try out our first one. Ooh, come on, red. Here we go. There. 2 times x. And then 2 times 3. Let's write that out fully. Well, 2 times x is just 2x. 2 times 3 is 6. Awesome, we multiply through the brackets. Let's try the next one. Again, pause your video before you watch me do it. For this one, it's going to be careful that we watch our signs. So our first one is 5 times n. And our second one is 5 times negative 7. We can always add a plus, because that's not, we can always add a plus, but then we got to watch what the signs are of our thing. So 5 times n is 5n plus 5 times negative 7. 5 times negative 7, that's negative 35. Well, adding a negative is the same as subtracting, so we can just write that as 5n minus 35. Again, those are not like terms, so we can't add them together anymore. We got to stop there. Let's try our next one. Again, pausing the video to try it before I go through it. We've got 8 times 2 plus 8 times 3w. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3w. So 8 groups of, each group has 3 w's in it. So 8 times 3, that's going to be 24 w's. 24w. Our last one, this one's a little tricky. Ooh, back to red. Watch your signs. Negative 6 times a plus negative 6 times 4. Well, negative 6 times a, that's negative 6a. That wasn't too bad. Negative 6 times 4, that's negative 24. Adding a negative is like subtracting. So it's going to be minus 24. Okay. Here's our next one. We're going to use the distributive property, and then we're going to put it through the tube to see if we got the right answer. I'm going to ask you to stop the video, try all 4 of these right now. Okay, now that you've given them a try, here we go. I'm going to put them through the tube one at a time, and we'll transform them and see if we got it right. 7 times y plus 3 is 7y plus 21. 8 times m minus 1 is 8m minus 8. 5 times 4x minus 5 is 20x minus 25. Negative 9 times 4 plus 2n, negative 36 minus 18n. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to stop there. That's our review of distributive property, something you may have seen in 9th grade or you may not have. Either way, now we've got a bit of a better hand on it than we did before. We're going to use this next in our equation solving. I'll see you in the equation solving video really soon.